Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and stay tuned by clicking the bell icon. Coronation Street New Year spoilers, 2 major returns, sad goodbye and tragic accident. Bethany Platt, Lucy Fallon, is back just in time for the new year, but as she catches up with family, it's clear she has already made contact with ex-Daniel Osborne, Rob Mallard. Their connection clearly remains, which is bad news for Daisy Midgley, Charlotte Jordan. Elsewhere, sinister Damon Hay, Kieran Griffiths, also returns and, similar to her daughter, Sarah, Tina O'Brien, also still carries a torch for her former flame. It's a dangerous one, and Adam Barlow, Sam Robertson, is determined to intervene. And finally, wrongs are finally righted as the Rovers is finally open again, leading to a surprisingly joyful and celebratory end to 2023. Jenny, Daisy, Sean, Glenda and Gemma head to the Rovers armed with boxes of booze. Jenny and Daisy look proudly on as the locals muck in and prepare the pub for the grand reopening. Gary hangs Betty's picture back on the wall in pride of place. As Jenny, Glenda, Sean and Gemma compare their bad taste outfits in readiness for the evening ahead, but one resident is less than impressed with the costume. As Daniel heads home, his face lights up when he spots Bethany. Jenny urges Daisy to go and find Daniel and patch things up with a New Year's kiss. What will she find? At the countdown to midnight, everyone heads out of the pub and joins Glenda in singing Auld Lang Syne. Adam drops Harry off with Sarah. Noting that she's dressed to the nines, Adam assumes she's got a date and quickly pretends that he's got one too. In the bistro, Adam and Sarah admit that neither of them has a hot date lined up. When Adam offers to buy her a glass of champagne, Sarah accepts and it's clear they still fancy each other. Dee Dee tells Ed that he can't keep on her sofa forever and they need to call a family meeting to come up with a solution. Stu tells Yasmin and Olia that he doesn't want Eliza blaming herself for her dad's disappearance, so it's best if he tells her the truth. Yasmin tells Stu that it's probably best if he doesn't confess all to Eliza as he's the only family she has now, and she'd be terribly hurt. Carla finds Bobby helping himself to her wine and asserts that it's time he got a job. Carla shows Bobby around the factory and offers him a trial week on the sales team. Bobby assures her she won't regret it. Following his panic attack, Adam assures Sarah that he's feeling much better. Sarah suggests they meet for a drink and a hopeful Adam thinks that this could be a new start for them. In the pub, Sarah Googles panic attacks and promises Adam that they're going to tackle his anxiety together outside. As Adam and Sarah part company, neither of them notices Damon watching them from across the street. As Adam heads for his office, a man follows him in a van. Adam's horrified to find himself tied up in the back of the van. Will he be able to escape this? Daisy tells Jenny about her humiliation at finding Daniel already seems to be turning his attention to his old flame Bethany. When Jenny reveals that Waterfords have given them permission to move back into the pub full-time while the sale goes through, Daisy perks up. Bethany calls at Sarah's flat, who is thrilled to see her daughter. At number 8. A delighted Gail suggests they celebrate with a family lunch at Speed Doll. Across the street, Daisy clocks Bethany and points her out to Jenny. When Jenny reveals that Daniel slept with Bethany last night, Gail, David and Sarah are stunned. Shona finally persuades Lauren to return to work at the cafe. In the flower shop flat, a suspicious Billy and Paul can tell Summer is up to something as she frantically types a message and announces that she's popping out for a couple of hours. Ed admits to Dee Dee that he'll be sad to lose the builder's yard, but clearing his debts is top priority, and he's going to his gambling support group later. When Dee Dee calls at number 3 and suggests it's time Ed moved back home, Michael refuses to entertain the idea and Sarge realizes something needs to be done. Seeing a carefree Damon stroll into the bistro, Adam gets on the phone to tip off the police. Nick and Leanne arrive to find Damon waiting for them to ask for the money he gave Harvey to invest in the bistro. Craig arrives to question Damon about Adam's kidnap. When Adam barges into the factory to inform Sarah about Damon's and his kidnap, Sarah has no time to reply as Craig enters. Sarah tells Adam that she was with Damon yesterday afternoon and is his alibi. Damon offers Ed a job renovating a bar and realizing who he is, Bethany calls him a homewrecker, but Damon's distracted by a phone call and hurries out. In a prison visiting room, Damon faces his brother Harvey. What does Harvey want from his brother? Paul is thrilled as Summer reveals her big surprise is her uni lecturer has offered to take Paul for a spin in his motorbike sidecar later. Summer's tutor, Dewey, turns up with a motorbike but no sidecar. As Summer and Billy strain to lift Paul onto the pillion instead, dangling helplessly, a humiliated Paul orders them to put him down. In a bid to lift Paul's spirits after the motorbike debacle, Billy suggests a holiday. When Kevin confirms to Abby that the scratched Porsche is booked in at the body shop next week, Cassie forms a plan. When the Porsche's owner arrives to collect his car, Cassie makes out she rang him by mistake. He's unimpressed to spot the damage to the paintwork and threatens to sue. Kevin and Abby are horrified as Cassie promises it will be good as new by tomorrow. Cassie's pleased when a stressed Kevin blames Abby for the scratched car fiasco. Daisy's miffed when Jenny firmly vetoes her special offer ideas to boost custom at the pub. When Bethany calls into the Rovers and sneeringly remarks on how empty it is, Daisy defiantly writes out a sign offering a free drink with every hot pot purchased. Tyrone informs Evelyn and Roy that Terry has been charged and has a hearing tomorrow, who hopes that he pleads guilty. Paul's voice talker apparatus is delivered and he nervously uses the app to play some of his pre-recorded phrases. When Billy reveals the cost of travel insurance is extortionate due to Paul's condition, Paul insists they forget about the holiday. In the Rovers, Gemma and David learn of Paul's aborted holiday and decide to cheer him up with some jugs of sangria. After a fun afternoon, David helps a drunk Paul back to the flat, but Paul sends him home as Moses is due any minute. With no sign of Moses and bursting for a wee, Paul drags himself to his wheelchair but crashes to the floor. Roy declares to Cassie he cannot let Abby take the blame for damaging the car. Cassie reluctantly agrees to come clean, but as she prepares to confess to Kevin, the words die in her mouth when he offers her a permanent position at the garage. The Porsche's owner collects his car from the garage but refuses to pay his bill. Kevin takes out his anger on Abby, blaming her again for the scratch. Will Cassie come clean? Revealing he's getting his money out of the bistro, Damon tells Ed he can pay him to do the bar renovation before the builder's yard is sold. Dee Dee's alarmed to discover that Ed struck a deal with Damon and urges her dad to stay well away. Over a birthday drink in the bistro, Daniel tells Ken that he and Bethany are getting on well. Tyrone senses Evelyn's fears as she refuses to accompany him to Terry's hearing, claiming she has more important things to do. Evelyn hears from Tyrone that Terry pleaded guilty and will be sentenced later. If you like the video, don't forget to like, comment and share.